Jimmy O'Reilly, who introduced me to magniloquent new swear words, razor-sharp pocket knives, and an endless supply of his ma's Benson and Hedges. But this is a Billy story. Billy was raised right, wasn't a racist, and didn't steal, swear, or smoke. But on this day, Billy and I conspired to break on through to the other side of conformity. On this day, we were unstoppable. On the morning of the day in question, I left a note in Billy's Hartford Courant, which I myself delivered. It read, "Bike ride, today, 10 o'clock. When Billy appeared on his show-offy red Raleigh 10 speed, I was loitering in my driveway, lighting matches from a mermaid-shaped matchbook from Neptune's Fish House, Coral Gables, Florida, arrogantly straddling my lime green 5-speed Murray Eliminator with butterfly handlebars, banana seat, and wicked cool sissy bar. Billy's ride was faster than my comically named Eliminator, but not as nasty. Billy looked like Dudley Moore on his dashing touring bike. I looked like Brando. Billy shifted gears using some apparatus in his handlebars. I used a stick shift, jutting up proudly from the middle of the frame like Satan's phallus. Billy's bike was Piccadilly Circus. Mine was Hell's Kitchen. Let's ride, Kimosabi. And ride we did. We pedaled our punk asses 5 miles to the drugstore where our criminal activities commenced, to a junkyard where we committed more acts of blatant lawlessness, 10 miles to Manchester, beyond the safety zone of reasonable 12-year-olds, where we contemplated crime but decided against it, to the quarry where we brazenly disregarded postage signage, not a hanging crime perhaps, but certainly a municipal violation. Down to Vernon, where I stoically refrained from engaging in certain carnal pleasures, and home again, late as hell and pompously unrepentant. This odyssey was Bill and Terry's most excellent adventure. Right away, we knew that we were never going to be home by 3 o'clock when Billy was due, or even 5:30 for my Little League practice. We knew that mere deadlines imposed upon us by the man were not going to stop us this day. Not going to stop us, not this day. At the Mile Hill drugstore, Billy dared me to shoplift. I refused. Billy called me a pussy. I refused. Then Billy said that he and Jimmy O'Reilly recently stole candy there, and I got pissed. I was the adventure guy in these parts. For all of Jimmy's seriously deranged bluster, I was the action man. So I went in, and I did not come out empty-handed. I stole something worthless and ridiculous, and something I did not even want. I stole a Snoopy 365-day calendar the size of a small notebook. Billy said, "Snoopy's a pussy." And I said, "I know. I knew Snoopy was a pussy, but I had to save face, and nothing was going to stop me from stealing that worthless fucking trinket." We rode on. Billy wanted to hit the 7-Eleven next, but I had other loot in mind. We ignored the pesky no trespassing signs and jumped the fence at the junkyard and twisted license plates off of old cars. I got a Great Lakes state, a vacation land, and some Constitution states. Billy didn't get shit because he was lookout, so I gave him the Michigan plate on account of he was from Grand Rapids. There was an old guy working there, but the junk in that junkyard was so junky, they didn't even have a junkyard dog. But it was still pretty scary, thieving shit in broad daylight. Unstoppable, we rode on. Next was this remote hill I discovered on my paper route. The hill overlooked this busy street far below. I sometimes launched snowballs from there onto cars. But this day the ground was covered with hundreds of crab apples. Like a violent summer storm, we rained crab apples down on cars until I remembered the time some wise guy I had nailed with a snowball doubled back on me, parked his car, and trudged through the snow, and I nearly got pinched. That unpleasant memory lingered, so we rode on. Next stop was an abandoned quarry filled with dark, deep, cold-ass water. No trespassing and no swimming signs abounded. One sign even shouted, "Peligroso," to caution the Spanish-speaking miscreants. The quarry walls rose 20 feet above the water, and if you were an idiot, you jumped, screaming Geronimo, or Cowabunga, or fuck, as you sailed through the air, praying to your Savior, before smacking the concrete water and submerging into the icy abyss. There were junk cars and refrigerators hidden in the glacial darkness, and if you jumped wrong, your bones got racked, like that legendary poor son of a bitch who ended up a paraplegic. We both were chicken, but nothing's gonna stop us, right? So I evoked the name of Jimmy, down from Boston, saying Jimmy had jumped in the quarry. So we did it, and we did it again. One of the high school kids there called us stupid for jumping, but Billy said, "No one's forcing you to jump, Snoopy." Code word for pussy. When we got out, our bikes were missing, and we figured those chicken shits stole them. But then we found them stashed in the woods. Shivering, but empowered, we rode on. Hot and hungry, we stopped for lunch at a burger joint famous for placing 4 slices of American cheese over the burger while grilling it so the cheese on the edges gets crispy and curls up. It's like their signature thing. Like Jughead and Archie at Pop Tate's, we lounge in the polished Naugahyde booth and devour cheeseburgers and milkshakes and consider whether to dine and dash. Rumor was that Jimmy O'Reilly had recently D&D'd at the local Friendlies. As we deliberated, friggin' Jimmy was on one shoulder, saying, "Do it, you little pussy," with Sister Louise perched on my other shoulder, pleading, "It's wrong, Terry, do the right thing." Having already stolen a Snoopy calendar and some license plates, I didn't want to push my luck. We paid the lady and rode on. Now we're 15 miles away from home and due in 2 hours, well past the point of no return. We considered calling someone to come get us, but the weather was fine. We were high on adventurism, clearly unstoppable. So we rode back to our town, where some kids were trying to get it to set a Guinness record for the longest continuous wiffle ball game. We're helping them make history until this public school girl I knew from square dancing at the Park District invites me into the woods. And what's gonna stop me? Friggin' Billy, that's what. That little bastard kitty cock-blocked me with a dozen excuses why I shouldn't join her, even though she was flashing a green light in her private little red light district. Anyway, I don't join her, and it's a good thing too, because later, like a week later, I hear that she and Doug Leonard both got poison ivy all over their bodies. Yeah, I wonder how that happened. But in the end, nothing really did stop me, because 2 years later, that girl schooled me good. And if the theme for this month was first love, or the first cut is the deepest, you get my idea, then this story would not be about me jumping half naked into some cold ass water and stealing shit during an epic bicycle adventure. Anyway, that was the last adventure of the day. We got home wicked late and caught hell from the man. But who cares? Odysseus didn't sweat the small stuff. Nor did Brando or Ponyboy. On that day, I didn't stop for legality. I didn't stop for morals.